cactus people. It's a lovely 38 degrees in the cactus house this morning, so this could be the start of summer, you never know. What we're looking at today is some rescue plants from the collection of the late Robert Holden. I picked these up on Saturday from his collection. It's very sad to see it when a member passes away, but we'll try and keep the plants alive and going. And first thing I noticed when I got them back is there's some mealybugs on these, so I gave them all a spray and kept them away from the other cactus, and I've also given this one a spray with methylated spirits, dilute methylated spirits this morning. So we'll just have a quick look at them now. I'm not going to repot them in front of the camera, so it's going to take ages. So first one we've got there is Opuntia bulbospina, which has got quite a bit of cutting material on that. I'll cut it back, repot it, and let the plant grow out from what's left. These should be fine, so absolutely super. This Opuntia microdaisies, which looks like the Pallida variety, is actually the monstrose variety. You can see the different shapes on the pads there. They're not growing as they should do. I've seen pictures of this, but I've never actually seen it in real life before, so that'll be interesting to cultivate from. The mealybugs were having quite a go on this one, so I'll check the roots as well when I do that. So, and a little one in the front is a Turbinicarpus pseudomacroheli, I think that's right. There's only 3 or 4 of these, and there's lots of varieties of them. They come from Mexico, and they live on cliffs, limestone cliffs as far as I know, and they need to be treated slightly different to other cactus. They don't get much bigger than this. It's a miniature variety, and this has actually got a field collection number on it as well, so I can look up, see exactly where that came from, which is brilliant. He won't go in a pot on his own. He'll go with I'll just show you here. I've got some other Turbinicarpus that I've grown from seed. I'll keep in a separate pot because they prefer a calcareous soil, so we'll have a look at those a bit later on though when I pot it up. So very pleased to get that one. And a little Tephra-cactus, Articulatus strobiliformis there, which he looks quite healthy. And this one, I'm not sure what it is. It looks, the top of it looks like Myrtillocactus geometrizans, but I've not seen one with spines this long. I've had a look on the net. There are some with spines this length, so it probably is one. If it is that, it will need looking after a bit in the winter. It doesn't like getting too cold, so it's a bit dehydrated looking at the moment, but only be expected if it's not been watered at all this year. By the looks of it, it feels very light. So we'll look after that one, get him repotted. This one, a very interesting one. This is an Opuntia, or now Grussonia they're called, Invicta, which is has got some marvellous spination on it. Let's hold it a bit nearer the camera there. Look at these, they're quite serious. Who can resist a cactus like that, eh? And I had to look it up. I looked it up, and it's got some marvellous names. The Spanish name is Casa Rata, which means rat's house, and that's from the habit that rats have of digging under the plant and making their nest there, because it's a very secure place to build a nest. It's also called the club cholla, the devil cholla, and the dagger cholla, which I think I prefer the devil cholla there. It sounds more interesting, doesn't it? Don't mess with that one. It's also called a horse crippler, but that's also a local name for an echinocactus, so we won't call it that to avoid confusion. But right now I'll stop the camera now and I'll sort these out, and then we'll come back to that in the next bit. Thank you. Okay, by the magic of video, I've now potted all these up. So while I was doing it, the Opuntia bulbospina, I was checking that against one that I've got in the small Opuntia bed there, and I do actually have a label that matches the handwriting on that. So I already had some of Robert's plants in here in my beds that I must have bought from the plant sale a couple of years ago, and didn't realise they were actually his plants. So if you're looking down on this, Robert, then thank you very much for the plants, and they'll live on in my collection, which is super. So that one's all done. These have all got a top dressing of what's called Eco Grit, although I'm not quite sure why it's called Eco Grit, but it makes them look nice, and they're all settled in. I shan't water them for a week or so, even though some of them are dying out for a drink. Now the micro daisies, one of the pads came off while I was doing it, but I won't take any more cutting material off of that until it's settled in and starts growing again. I checked the roots for mealy bugs, and there were none on them, so I think it was just a few on this one that I couldn't actually see any live ones on there, which was great, so not so much of a problem there. A little Tephra cactus, I love Tephra cactus. I'm going to grow that on a bit to make sure it's settled in, and likewise with the geometrizans, if it is that Matilla cactus rather. I'll wait for that to rehydrate, see what it wants to do, let the plant tell me what it wants to do. These bits might stay as they are, it might just grow from this tip here, we'll see what happens. And this one, I put both names on there. I put the Apuntia Invicta on one side of the label and the Devil Joller on the other one, because I just thought that was a good name for it. So we'll let him grow on and rehydrate a bit. I'm sure he'll make a lovely addition. He'll probably go in the bed eventually, but I just want to look after him for a bit. So that aside, let's put these to one side with the little Turbinocarpus cactus. I've put that in my special little box for Turbinocarpus, which unlike most cacti, this has got an alkaline soil in it, so there's a nice mixture of chalk in there as well as compost and grit. So and these need a bit of a special special treatment. So I've got the label there for the variety Alanae, and I'll keep that down to one side because these are the ones I grew from seed, and these are just the straight pseudo macroheli ones, which are doing fine in there. They've just started to grow. Now I say they need a bit different treatment. I've actually put it on the label so I can see for myself what I'm doing. They need a light spray in spring for their first watering rather than just a drench, and then thoroughly drench every 2 weeks. Just one feed in spring of watered down tomato feed, which is great, and then only water them in the morning on a bright sunny day, so it gives it a chance to drain through. This is nicely drained on this box, and so I'll keep this separate. I won't get it mixed up with the other cacti then. So that label will go back in there, and hopefully we can have another look at this in a few weeks. Hopefully one or two of them might flower, which will be good. I know they're very small, but they do flower at a very small size. So keep your fingers crossed, and thank you very much for watching, everyone.